Good evening, darlings. I got a message from Irla, daughter of Irena of House Tuffbeard, um, who had a vision of my son and said that I need to accept the wedding, that my son was going to sail west with his husband, and that if I didn't accept it, I would lose my son forever. So, he's technically already married. This is just sort of a formality at this point. And I think even if I weren't sort of obligated as a king to give the prince of the kingdom an extravagant wedding, of course he's my son and I love him and I still want him to be happy, even if I don't agree with his choice. It's already been made and there's no going back now, so of course I'm going to give him the best wedding that I can. I was very hurt, of course, that he and I have sort of drifted apart, and he didn't want to honor our traditions, and he didn't want to tell me, and maybe it's just that I've been too hard on him. I always worried when he was younger that I doted too much on him, and perhaps he was a bit spoiled, but my expectations got maybe too rigid and too outlandish or something, and maybe this is just part of him trying to break free and break free of me. But I don't want to talk about that. What I want to talk about is the part that's the worst of all of this, and that is his sailing west. I always thought he wouldn't, that it was something that would happen to someone else, to someone else's children, not to my son, not to my precious boy. And I thought if it ever happened, not when, that it would be after his husband passed on, and I know that didn't give me much time, but it gave me a century, maybe even two, and now I find out that they go before then, and that means that after the wedding there's nothing tying my son from going, and it's just too soon, darling. I just can't let go, and I know that's been part of my problem, is I've just been holding on to him so tightly, but he's all I have. He's the only thing I have left in this world. I mean, I know I have the kingdom, and that's very important, and it's a responsibility that I have, and I'm not going to just throw that aside, but he's my son. He's my only son. He's my only family. He's all that I have, and he's the most precious thing in my life. It's just him, and perhaps I've been very foolish, darlings, in thinking that maybe, just maybe, I would be enough, sort of, for him to stay here in this world, and I just thought maybe there was some chance that I would hold enough meaning in his life that he would want to fight the call and stay here in our kingdom together. I'm glad that he's sailing. It means that he will probably live on, in the undying lands. He will live on. But You say, or lose him forever. But if he sails west, I will lose him forever. Because I cannot go west. I can't go with him. I want to go with him. I don't want to be without him. I want to be there. I want to be there for my son. But I can't. I have to stay here. While there's any elf still drawing breath in this kingdom, if there's any elk still here within our lands, or a single tree remains I have made, I have a duty to watch over them, and I cannot abandon this kingdom unless everyone and everything in it were to die. And I cannot stand for that to happen. I could not take that responsibility on myself. If I could let the ruin of everything here happen, even if it is my only chance to be reunited with my son. Sorry, darlings. I'm feeling a little cold. I don't normally do that, but suddenly I feel a bit of a chill, and perhaps it's just reality setting in. I forgot just how strongly love pulls at you, you know, and until losses are so terrible, and I can't lose him. I know I can't stop it, and that doesn't make it any better, darlings. That really just, it makes it worse. I'm going to be without him. I'm going to be alone. I will remain here, tied to this land, until I draw my final breath. I will stay here as the power of my people wanes, as every bit of my magic, of my power, slips from my body until I am nothing. I will remain here, alone, forever. I think I should go. I must go.